ever feel kind of stuck?
Yeah.
You know, like you could be doing more, but not really sure how to like level up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, today we're going deep on why so many people just end up, well, average, and more importantly, how to break free.
Right.
We've got some seriously insightful research here.
Oh, yeah.
Not just some motivational fluff, you know.
Okay.
It gets into like the habits and the mindsets and even stuff in society that can like hold us back.
Interesting.
So it's really fascinating stuff.
Well, and what's cool about this research is it doesn't just point out the problem.
Right.
It gives you like a map to escape mediocrity.
Oh, I like that.
And it all starts with, understanding how we get so comfortable just staying the same.
Yeah, it's funny because the research actually uses this analogy of a lobster
Okay.
in a tank that's too small.
Ah.
The lobster gets so used to it, it doesn't even try to grow anymore.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's so true for us. Like, we get comfortable in our routines, even if they're not really fulfilling.
It's that comfort zone trap, right?
Yeah.
We want to feel secure. We want what's familiar, but it comes at a cost.
Definitely.
I mean, think about it. Staying in that little tank,
Yeah.
it stops us from developing the strength and skills to really thrive.
It's true.
Yeah.
Totally. And then there's the fear.
Oh, fear.
Be honest.
Yeah.
How many times have you not done something because you were scared of failing?
All the time.
Or what people would think?
Ugh. Yes.
I know I have.
Yeah.
More times than I want to admit.
It's so common. And the research, it actually links this fear to what's called like a fixed mindset.
Okay.
It's this belief that we're born with a certain amount of talent and intelligence, and that's it. We can't really change.
Like a set of cards you can't trade.
Exactly. We're playing life with a hand we can't change.
That's pretty limiting.
It is.
But luckily, the research gives us another option. The growth mindset.
Yes. This is where it gets exciting.
Right.
A growth mindset is believing that we can always learn and grow our abilities.
Okay.
No matter where we start.
I like that.
It's about like really embracing challenges and seeing setbacks not as failures, but as chances to grow.
So it's not about being born brilliant.
Right.
It's about believing we can learn and get better.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
But how do we actually like cultivate this growth mindset?
Right.
Because it's one thing to get it,
Yeah.
but it's another to actually live it.
Well, one powerful way is to set big goals.
Okay.
Think of something you've always wanted but maybe felt intimidated by. The research suggests using this framework called SMART goals.
SMART goals.
Yeah. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
So instead of just saying, I want to learn a new language,
Right.
you'd say, I want to be conversational in Spanish in 6 months.
Exactly.
Making it specific and giving yourself a deadline.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it makes the whole thing feel less overwhelming, more doable.
Yeah, much more actionable.
And what's interesting is the research shows that reaching those goals often comes down to our everyday habits.
Oh, interesting.
We're not talking huge changes overnight.
Okay.
It's about adding small, consistent actions into what we already do.
Like those atomic habits you hear about.
Yes. Tiny changes that build up to amazing results over time.
So just imagine like spending 30 minutes a day reading or practicing a skill.
Yeah.
Might not seem like much right now,
Right.
but over weeks and months, even years,
Yeah.
that consistent effort can lead to like incredible growth.
Absolutely.
So consistency is key.
Yeah.
But what about those pesky habits that keep us stuck in mediocrity?
Ugh, I know, right?
The research gets into those too, right?
It does.
Things like procrastination,
Yep.
lack of discipline, no clear vision for the future.
And those habits, they're so sneaky.
They really are.
They disguise themselves as like harmless little treats.
Yeah.
We tell ourselves just one more episode or I'll start tomorrow. It's so easy to do.
But then before we know it, we're stuck in this cycle of just consuming. Endlessly scrolling, binge watching, filling our brains with information,
Right.
but not actually creating anything new.
It's almost like we're taking in all this information to avoid the real work.
Right.
The hard stuff that actually helps us grow.
And that's where the research gets really interesting.
Okay. Tell me more.
It links this passive consumption to a lack of creative output.
Interesting.
We are just bombarded with so much information these days
Oh, I know it.
that it can actually drain our energy for creating our own work, whether that's writing, art, starting a business, whatever your passion is.
So it's not just about less screen time.
Right.
It's about being more aware of how we're using our mental energy.
Exactly.
Are we passively taking it in or actively making something?
That's a great way to put it.
That's a powerful distinction.
Yeah, it is. But before we go too far down that road, I'm curious about what the research says about the people around us.
Ah, yes. The company we keep
Yeah.
can have a huge impact on our mindset and habits.
For sure.
The research really highlights how important it is to surround ourselves with people who inspire us.
Yeah.
People who are also reaching for growth and excellence.
You know, it's like that saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
So true.
So if you want to break free from being average,
Yeah.
you got to be mindful of your social circle.
Exactly.
Think about the people you're always with.
Okay.
Do they encourage you to be your best? Do they challenge you to think differently?
Yeah.
Do they support you growing, even when it takes you out of your comfort zone?
Those are the people you want around you.
Makes you wonder, right?
What's that?
If you're always around people who are settling, are you more likely to settle yourself?
It's a good question.
Food for thought.
Definitely.
But before we get too deep into that,
Okay.
let's take a step back and recap what we've talked about so far.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So we've covered a lot about like a growth mindset, setting big goals,
Right.
and even how our daily habits and the people around us can impact our journey out of average. But there's another really important piece.
Oh, resilient.
Resilience.
You mean being able to bounce back from setbacks?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because let's face it,
Yeah.
no matter how positive we are
Right.
or how carefully we plan, we're all going to hit some roadblocks along the way.
That's for sure.
And the research actually has this fascinating take on setbacks.
Okay.
It says that instead of seeing them as failures,
Yeah.
we should see them as valuable feedback, even chances to grow.
That's a really different way of looking at it.
It is, right?
Because usually we just feel discouraged
Oh, yeah.
or want to give up when things get tough.
It's natural.
But what if we could change that? What if we saw those challenges as a chance to learn and adapt?
Think about it. When we hit a setback, it forces us to rethink how we're doing things,
Okay.
find where we need to improve,
Yeah.
and come back even stronger.
It's like that saying,
Yeah.
what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly. But it's not just about getting tougher.
What else is it?
It's about getting smarter, too.
Okay, I'm seeing how this all ties back to that growth mindset we talked about.
Right.
If we believe we can learn and grow from anything, then setbacks are less about messing up
Yeah.
and more about adjusting course.
Exactly. And that's where the research links resilience to the importance of always learning.
Lifelong learning.
Yeah. It's about that mindset of constantly growing and evolving,
I like that.
always searching for new knowledge, expanding our skills,
Okay.
and staying curious about the world.
So it's not just about getting information.
Right.
It's about this ongoing journey of learning and development.
Yes. Because the world's always changing.
True.
And if we want to keep up, we got to be adaptable.
That's so true.
And this learning can happen in so many ways.
Like what?
It's not just school. It's reading books, taking courses online, going to workshops, even just having conversations with people who see things differently.
I love that. It's about having that constant curiosity,
Yes.
that thirst for knowledge
Yeah.
that keeps us sharp,
Yeah.
keeps us from getting stuck.
Exactly.
But you know what else can really help us stay motivated?
What's that?
Celebrating those small wins.
Oh, those are so important.
Research talks about those a lot, right?
It does, because it's so easy to get focused on the big end goal.
Yeah,
That we forget to acknowledge all the progress we're making along the way.
it's true.
But those little victories, those
Yeah.
milestones, they matter.
They do.
They're proof that we're moving in the right direction.
I think we're all guilty of that sometimes.
Yeah.
Focusing so much on the finish line
Right.
that we don't celebrate the little wins along the way.
But you're right, they can be super motivating.
I can.
They remind us that we're capable of great things.
For sure.
And they help us stay focused.
Absolutely.
They build momentum.
Oh, that's a good point.
Each small win makes us want to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep pushing toward that bigger vision.
So how do we get better at recognizing and celebrating those small wins?
Good question.
Because I know for me,
Yeah.
it's easy to just brush them off and move on to the next thing.
It's about being intentional.
Okay.
One strategy is to actually schedule time to reflect.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe at the end of each day or the end of the week,
Okay.
where you look back and acknowledge what you achieved, no matter how small it seems.
I like that.
You could even keep a journal just for tracking your progress.
Oh, like a gratitude journal, but for accomplishments.
Exactly. And speaking of being intentional,
Yeah.
the research also talks about discipline and managing our time well.
Yeah. Because if we're not careful,
I know, right?
those bad habits can come back
Oh, yeah.
and ruin all our progress.
And it's not about becoming some kind of productivity machine.
Okay.
It's about realizing that our time and energy are valuable. We need to be smart about how we use them.
So it's about setting boundaries,
Yes.
prioritizing tasks, and being proactive with our schedules.
Exactly. There are so many great tools and techniques out there.
Like what?
Things like the Pomodoro technique, time blocking,
Okay.
task management systems, all kinds of things. But
Yeah.
even something as simple as making a to-do list every morning
Yeah.
and setting realistic deadlines can help a lot.
It's like creating a map for our day.
Yes.
So we're not just reacting to whatever happens,
Exactly.
but making choices that get us closer to our goals.
I love that analogy.
But I'm curious, beyond time management stuff,
Yeah.
what do you personally do to stay motivated and keep that growth mindset strong?
One thing that really helps me is like curating my information diet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm really careful about the books I read,
Okay.
podcasts I listen to, even who I follow online.
I try to, surround myself with stuff that's uplifting,
Yeah,
inspiring, and makes me think.
that's a great point. It's so easy to get sucked into negativity,
Oh,
especially with all the doom scrolling these days.
it's everywhere.
But yeah, choosing to focus on the positive, that can really change your whole mindset.
For sure. And I think it's also important to watch the conversations we have.
Oh, you mean like what we talk about?
Yeah, both with ourselves and other people.
Okay.
Are we talking about things that lift us up,
Right.
challenge us to grow? Or are we just stuck on the negative?
It's like we have a choice.
Exactly.
We can feed the fear and doubt,
Yeah.
or we can choose to focus on what's possible.
And I find that connecting with people who are passionate about learning, about growing, it's so energizing.
It is.
Whether it's going to events, joining online groups,
Okay.
or just having those deep talks with friends and colleagues who inspire me,
Yeah.
it really helps me stay motivated and accountable.
It's like having a team, right?
Yeah.
People who get it, who understand the challenges and support you.
And don't forget about taking time for yourself.
Oh, self-reflection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether it's journaling, meditating, or just a quiet walk in nature.
Right.
Those moments help me reconnect with what matters,
Yeah.
get clear on my goals, and recharge.
It's so easy to get caught up in the daily grind
Oh, I know.
that we forget to pause and just be.
It's crucial, though,
You're right. It's essential.
for our well-being and remembering why we're doing all this.
Absolutely. And sometimes those quiet moments are when the best ideas hit you.
It's true. When you step away from all the noise
Yeah.
and just allow yourself to be.
So we've covered a lot today.
We have.
A growth mindset, setting ambitious goals, building good habits, finding inspiring people,
Right.
lifelong learning, celebrating the small wins, self-reflection,
It's a lot.
even being careful about the information we take in
Yeah.
and the conversations we have.
It's a journey. It is, but we don't have to do everything at once.
No way.
Even picking one or two things and sticking with them, that can make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
As we wrap up, I keep thinking about that question from the research.
Which one?
The one that asks us to think about where we've settled for average
Oh, yeah.
and what one small step we can take today
Great.
to start moving toward excellence
Yeah.
in that area.
It's a powerful question.
It is. It doesn't have to be a huge thing.
No.
It could be reading a book on something new,
Yeah.
signing up for that online course you've been thinking about, or reaching out to someone who inspires you.
The point is to take action.
Exactly. And hey, why not share that step with us online?
Yeah. Let us know what you're working on.
We'd love to hear it and cheer you on.
Let's build a community.
Yes. Supporting each other.
Holding each other accountable.
Because we're all in this together.
We are.
So keep diving deep, keep pushing those boundaries, and keep striving for greatness.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time, fellow deep